A big round of applause. Graham Hornigold from Hakkasan.
Essentially what we're using here is classical technique and plating it in a modernistic style. So we're going to start with a simple choux pastry, water, or use a little bit of milk in there to give a bit more colour, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt working in there too. Just pop these on. You want them to just start to boil, but you don't want it to sit there boiling because you're evaporating the moisture that you need to generate the steam which you need for the actual cooking itself. And the thing about pastry, different to every other kitchen in the world, you see how much mise en we have, or cold prep. All the ingredients is pre-weighed, has to be weighed. Essentially, if it's not weighed, it's not going to work. Whilst that is just starting to come up, I've got my flour, I've got my salt and my sugar in the pan. I can move to my next job, which is to get my mousse on the go. So chocolate, at the moment we're using a blend of milk and dark. So we're using Alunga and we're using Lacte Barry. One's whipping up the cream. Essentially, it's like egg whites for a souffle. You'd only semi-whip it because then it's only going to have so much of a point where it can take air before it splits out. But now we've got our choux paste is ready to go. Okay, so in with the flour and the sugar and the salt. Salt's just there to take away some of the sweetness, and the sugar's there to help with the colour alongside the milk, which will give the colour in the oven. Choux paste is off. Cool this down slightly so that when you add the eggs, you're not cooking the yolks too quickly, yeah? So 60 gram eggs, you're just mixing those in ever so slightly. Piping ganache, that's the emulsification of chocolate, fat, and the liquid in this sense, which is going to be a little bit of cream. A touch of gelatin, in goes the cream, and a little bit of lime. Again, the chocolate, just go in here, because that's all we're going to do is pour that on, bring those two together, that's the ganache finished. So egg yolks, what you do is you take your milk and you put a little bit on top of that, then goes back onto the stove and we cook that up. Now what we can do is we add our anglaise to the chocolate, smooth mousse now, or smooth ganache, lime curd, very simply, lime juice, sugar. Once it's ready, take it off, pass it, pop it into a piping bag, into the fridge. Okay, so we've got an ice cream base as well, which we've made earlier. Anglaise base again, essentially the same. So just run the knife around the mousse mold. All your elements are ready. Again, like I said, classical crumble, choux paste, cremeux or curd, ganache and a mousse. So the choux buns, which are filled with lime curd, just a couple. So little roche. But again, you can take the recipe, you can break it down, put it into glasses, put it into a pastry form if you want to, use the crumble as the base, mousse, whatever you like.
A massive, massive round of applause to Graham Hornigold.
Inspiration comes from seeing what other chefs are able to produce, understanding and listening to them and how passionate they are about the industry and what they want to give back.